and LeBron will be able to get his most played of the regular split with Alice. These last 4 picks, very quick, very clean. Both teams very much know what they want. But Fnatic rounding out with a decent amount of team fighting. You can see the front to back, decent poke provided with both the Corki and the Azir, with the potential common, and something we've been seeing a decent amount from G2, where they do swap Broken Blade out when he's on these tank matchups because they know that he's very safe on the weak side.
Yeah, and crucial now. I think Caps has played the Akali Corki matchups a lot of time. Actually, we see quite top.
Cease and desist. Chain of Corruption is going to come out from Hans Summer in a second. You have to feel the flash forward. There's the chains, but Hans locked up by Razork, and he will fall first. From mid down towards bot. So because Mickey was seen, Skumon knows he has a numbers advantage on this top side right now, allowing him to step in and get these last 2 grubs.
Yeah, good awareness from Skumon. Meanwhile, Mickey is hovering on the bot side of the map, looking for an opportunity. But Caps is not going to give him one. Good vision control from G2, controlling the river, moving into the enemy jungle, and finding that flash from Mickey.
And Broken Blade actually hovered down a little bit, and I think that's
too many on that weak side. Fnatic, though, haven't got out to the early lead that marked their split so far. Caps jumps in, the cease and desist. Caps dives into his demise. The CC knock-up chain from Fnatic was absolutely flipping perfect. Chase continues as Razork goes in with a Vault Breaker. Skumon's going to try and jump his way away to the Gromp. Hans Summer here to shadow. G2 need to walk away. They should be able to escape. Hans Summer, though, does still have the flash and the cleanse. Won't need to expend either to get out of Fnatic's clutches.
A beautiful response from Fnatic. Caps, this ever-looming side lane threat is shut down so...
As Spawn, G2 setting up around it. Currently a little bit pincered. Vault Breaker goes in, Razork flashes forward, Hans Summer cleanses away, but look at Skumon, he's already down to about 400 HP. LeBron is left out to dry, and he'll dry pretty damn quickly. Fnatic lock him up. They're third on the board. Razork's looking for more as he tries to...
Through fear of that ultimate coming through from Razork, which means that with him out of the fight, it becomes a very easy pick and an objective secured. Skumon doing his best to get something else on the map, but Fnatic not going to give him anything.
Next dragon up in 8 seconds time as well, and since the second dragon of the game, things have swung dramatically in Fnatic's favor. Triforce complete, Nash's tooth already done for Humanoid, and components of his next item as well. Flash forward, Magnet Storm. This is where the cease and desist that was saved from earlier comes to pay dividends. Hans Summer survives, but is hit by a rocket. Upset threads the uprights and finds him. Caps jumping in here. Skumon hit, the wind becomes lightning. Upset the target, but look at the damage back on the Caps. Humanoid slides in, the Emperor's Divide. Caps goes in with perfect execution, but Upset still has a flash to escape. LeBron is down, Caps follow suit, and Fnatic clean away G2.
Save that ultimate, then when Hans Summer, he doesn't even overstep in the mid lane, but gets engaged on by Mickey. Razork is there following.
Often it would seem like Broken Blade felt he had to force something in a 1v1 on the top side because the rest of the map was collapsing, and now he's forcing onto Oscarinin in the bot side. TP coming in. Oscarinin hasn't lost that much health yet, but with Caps joining the fight, there's the shutdown. Caps gets a kill.
Double or single teleport, they will come in.
Wait it out, see if you can get the second items. Caps caught out here. LeBron waiting around the corner, sees desist coming in as well as Humanoid dives forward, and the Emperor's Divide spells demise for Caps. LeBron now on the wrong side of that wall. Skumon diving in to try and help, but there's the TP. Hans Summer on his way across as well as Broken Blade. Skumon already down to half HP. LeBron trying to get onto the backline as well, and Hans Summer's been able to pick up one. Equalize onto Hans, and Skumon will force them away. Broken Blade calls on the Forge God. Will his prayers be answered? In a 1v3, I think not. Make it forward as Oscar comes around the corner to clean things up.
Reset. Mickey catches him out again, and I feel like that Mickey has been the bane of Caps' existence in this game.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I think Mickey and Razork, every single play has come from either one of them finding a really good pick.
Oscar chunked out a little bit there. Caps looking for Mickey as well. That one's personal. LeBron dies in. Emperor's Divide from Humanoid to keep himself safe. Chain of Corruption goes out as well as Humanoid has to slide.
The soul point for 2 more minutes. As I say that, Fnatic are coming in deep here.
Mickey's on his way, currently about the Razor Pit. LeBron chunked out. Unbreakable Will is pretty damn breakable right now as G2 try and disengage. Equalize down, cease and desist in, and the Crescent Guard doesn't guard you if everyone's on top of you. Oscar in and kills off Skumon.
I think that person will be the Azir, but also the Rumble, as I say here, is very easy to kill.
Call of Fortune coming out from Broken Blade. There's the TP immediately in from Caps. There were a couple of deep wards behind Oscar in here, but Broken Blade just trading in. Equalizer down, Broken Blade tanky enough, but Caps will be here to secure the kill. Broken Blade should survive, and he will do so.
Same time due to the power of 2 teleports.
Caps, though, has stayed around a little greedily for this bot lane tier 1. Razork's on his way across, as is Upset. Caps Does have that Twilight Shroud, can try and dodge away. Jumps through Upset, but the season says quick on the trigger there from Razork. Means that Caps can't escape.
We've seen the impact that we're talking about in Champions League of this pick, and I feel like it's really due to the fact that Razork's proactiveness is something else.
Flash away from Hans Sommer as Mickey jumped in with the Magnus Storm, the follow-up as well from Humanoid, but he's stopped in his tracks. Humanoid down, Broken Blade escapes.
This is where you could find the lead.
I think G2 has decided to give up the Drake quite a while ago. They're going to try and set up vision towards that top side. Mickey stepping in onto Lebrov. Will land the knockup, will land the stun, but where's the follow-up for the rest of the team? Mickey dives forward, knocked back by Lebrov. Razzle coming in as well. That equalizer not doing much as Caps gets onto Oscar in, and Humanoid flashing forward, looking for the Emperor's Divide. Hans Sommer somehow survives. Razzle glow. Hans Sommer Upset, able to take him out. Valkyrie in forward. Caps down as well. Somehow Fnatic have won the fight after G2 engaged it 4-0.
They take 4 members of G2 out of the game, and they may very well set their sights on the Nexus. There's only Broken Blade left standing in their way as Fnatic dominating here in game 1.
A lot of skill shots went by that fight. I think the Varus ult didn't really connect onto anyone, and I think the Corki was just really, really strong. Human found a great shuffle onto Hans, but in the end, I don't think it's enough.
Fnatic pushing in. Broken Blade dies under his Nexus tower. It's not tanky enough to survive the Fnatic onslaught. And in a statement game, Fnatic go 1-0 up in the series.
Coordination issues coming through from the side of G. Her dashes on her ultimate.
Yes! Yes!
Oh, we get the Yorick.
It's not great into Gnar, but I love Yorick top.
I mean,
so I'm a big fan.
I'm very excited about seeing Yorick as well. One of my main champions in solo queue as well. But into the Gnar, it's not an easy matchup just because how
Hit that morning mist on.
Razork.
He's fine. No way he gets caught here.
He's not fine.
No way! Oh, he has to flash. Okay, maybe he does get caught here. There's the charm follow-up. Aegis Assault not going to block any damage. Skewmon on the board for G2.
A very narrow window there where if he'd flashed, he would have just flashed into the wall. But he gets the spacing right. And now both top laners find themselves without a flash.
Razork looking for Caps in the mid lane. Caps still has his flash, but just burn his teleport with the wave pushing in. Should be able to catch it. Lebrov was roaming up towards mid and is caught out by all of Fnatic. Upset gets Fnatic's first of game 2 on the center so far, so has hit that first breakpoint on center. Sacking every 20, you get more of those stats. Wallop coming out from Broken Blade into the Dark Procession. He's in the cage. The Maiden chasing him down as well, but with Skewmon on his way, Oscarinin realizes he might be the one in a little bit of danger. Lebrov coming around the corner as well. There's the Cyclone. Oscarinin will be taken out. Bailout won't save him. Grand Starfall coming in immediately into the hook. Razzle dive forward, looking for Skewmon, who flashes away himself. The Riptide from Lebrov will get the slow into the concussive blows as well for a bit more CC. Lebrov trying to get in range to maybe hook himself away. Flashes away. There's the hook, and he manages to get to safety. Lebrov plays that exceptionally.
Lebrov's mechanical play there was amazing. The fact that he auto-attacked the Pantheon to give Skewmon the time to space him away from the Pantheon and powered Q and got out there with the nick of his life.
Upset going in. Oh, last embrace killed a minion there, so immediately propped onto Upset. He couldn't chase any further forward with that crash, burst lightning. Caps now going in onto Humanoid. Seismic shove going to try and get him away. Humanoid does still have flash here. Will he use it? The answer is a definitive no. G2 claim the feat of warfare with their 3rd kill of the game, but for it, they lose 3 grubs on top.
Timings, look.
Steel Caps for Oscarinin though. Caps caught out a little bit here. Skewmon's going to dive forward onto Humanoid. Weaver's Wall coming out. Skewmon able to survive for the moment with the Seismic Shove coming back. He has no escape. Fnatic find their 3rd. Oscarinin was gnarred underneath the tower, and now Broken Blade can try and chase him in the mini form. Oscarinin has a few of those minions to help him out. Flashes forward, maybe thinking he could land the last rites to get that extra health, but was unable to do so.
A great spacing from Broken Blade, and with the Ninja Turbines, as I like to call them. Sorry, the Split Steel Gap they're called right now, but really good spacing keeps Oscarinin away, and he tries to get the last little healing with the Q flash, but doesn't end up mattering. And as we said, no Maiden means no all-in threat, and this is Broken Blade's avenue.
And although it's been a very bloody affair, Fnatic have actually got the rule of the roost in terms of the first neutral objectives. You can see gold basically even, but 3 grubs and the first Drake over to Fnatic.
I just love the fact that I feel like everyone is skill checking each other.
Oh, that hook! But Mickey's waiting around the corner. Caps coming in as well with the TP, but Lebrov has backup. Humanoid dies. The bailout won't save him. The charm lands onto Mickey. Lebrov takes the first kill, lands the hook for Caps to follow up to take number 2. There's the assist for Skumon, there's the kill for Caps.
Bended like Beckham.
That's more than enough damage, and of course the Senna ultimate to provide that additional bit of safety. The flash from Broken Blade.
Into the Gnar, into the ward. There's the follow-up with the Cyclone, but the Dark Procession locks them both in place. Broken Blade, Goomba stomps his way towards Oscar in second. Cyclone hits, and that's the Maiden lost again for Oscar.
And the Maiden is widowed, and Yorick falls down now. They actually don't have the grubs, but still this is really nice for Broken Blade. He's gonna look to get some plates there with the Demolish Proc, with the Grasp, and when he gets there, Trinity Force, this Gnar's gonna become a menace.
Also, takeover lands with the Berserk. Razzle going in for a little bit more CC. Caps has no flash, no Spirit Rush, but maybe the charm's enough for him. Aegis Assault from Razzle will get the shutdown. Meanwhile, the Bob caught underneath the tower. Mickey and Humanoid healthy enough to keep chasing in. Upset with the Lightning Crash, looking for a bit more damage on Hansama. He has to flash away. The Bob looking for the CC on Mickey, but he can't find it. Humanoid takes the tower, and Upset manages to escape.
We've got 12 kills in 12 minutes.
Let's go!
The gold remains even, but Fnatic and G2 are going for each other's throats here in game 2. The tower looking to fall. There will be no response from G2, and that's going to be first tower blood secured by Fnatic.
G2 don't have control of that river right now. They're trying to get control of the mid wave. LeBrock hooks forward. Shaken back with the handshake. There's the hostile takeover as well, but it doesn't really find anything. Flash hook! The spark surge not enough. There's a death charge follow-up bailout on Upset, but no one's low enough for him to really utilize it. Mickey has to flash away. Razzle now in the midst of 3. Another good handshake onto Skumon. Another good hook from LeBron. These Qs aren't missing. Humanoid dies to Caps in a 1v1.
Impossible for Humanoid in the side lane as he finds another solo kill. You're seeing Oscar trying to put pressure down on the sideline, but he's also starting to struggle. Caps, though.
Caps is dead. Yeah, there's no real escape from that.
Not much that he can do about that one. Razork using his ultimate to find that.
Oscar has to flash away. TP behind him as Broken Blade looks for the Gnar. We'll have the one-up follow-up, so we'll get the one for nil so far. Humanoid coming in. Broken Blade doesn't really have any tools to escape this. Humanoid looking for the chase.
I don't think he has the
fights.
damage.
Wallops forward. There's the seismic sharp, and Broken Blade has his jump back up, crunches his way to safety.
It's the solo laners of G2 stepping up. We have Broken Blade with a solo kill, Caps with a solo kill.
Mickey has no flash. Like, there's no way Mickey survives this. It will be Hansama who secures the kill. Oh, it's Skumon actually that gets it. Now 5.
Pantheon is monstrous in the skirmishes, but admittedly, Skumon is not that far behind him. Yes, he's a full level down, but with the Trinity Force completed, this Wukong is going to be
Broken Blade, Labrov, and Caps, Macro, and Micro, and what am I saying? Micro is just so strong right now.
Oh, I 100% agree with you, and G2 are just constantly putting their foot on the gas, but Broken Blade maybe went a bit too early. Dawning Shadow enough to shield him, but he's hit with a spear from Razzle. Now the Aegis Assault coming out. Labrov gets another hook. They're going to target Humanoid first, but he has a stopwatch. The Seeker's enough. The hostile takeover still hits the Berserk. Now Labrov left out to dry as Oscar and Mickey close in. Upset looking to jump across the wall as soon as we praise G2. Fnatic find 2 in response.
Humanoid and Razork getting massive outplay in a 2 versus 3. Now aggressively pushing in that top side, and it seems Fnatic is quite willing to let this go.
I mean, Razork's keeping him at bay as well, right? So Broken Blade can't get across here. That tower's going to fall. Broken Blade was trying to farm up Mega from the Wolves, couldn't get there in time. So it's a tier 2 in the top lane for Fnatic. Riftel charging in the bot side. Upset is here to try and defend, but Caps and Skumon might make him think otherwise. Tier 1 in the mid lane, so 2 towers to 2 towers exchanged across the map.
Yeah, but really good response by G2 there to actually realize, oh, we really messed up. We went a bit too early to Dragon. Let's put the Herald down bot and get those towers so at least we can trade the gold back somewhat. Broken Blade looking to drop that top lane wave and actually move down for this Drake. It really looks like G2 wants to fight this.
Oh, Caps with the charm onto Mickey would chunk him out, about half HP. The Celestial opposition, keeping him tanky enough for the moment. Fnatic started up the Drake, it's at 5,000. Hansama 7 forward, another charm. Hostile takeover though from Mickey Buffered. The smite goes down, it's Skumon who secures it. Razzle going in, there's the Dawning Shadow as well. And look at the seals with the Cyclone coming out onto Razzle. And Oscar in, another charm onto Oscar. He's gonna die. Broken Blade going back in. Another hook from LeBron lands, and he manages to walk away with 50 HP. Upset dashing forward, and Cap still has a Spirit Burst to spare. Razzle flashes in, Upset kept them on the edge, and now the Grand Starfall for the chase on the Skumon, but Razzle's gone way too deep, way too fast. The Aegis Assault doesn't last for ages as in 23 minutes. The Drake secured for G2, puts them on 2. Humanoid now, though, does still have the flash. Dash in from Skewmoid. Good seismic shove as Mickey's caught up towards the top side. Humanoid able to escape. Mickey does not have that same luxury. Caps on the chase. Weaver's wall out from Humanoid. Fnatic decided to fight. They won't. The Artican will go to G2. Oscarin is still pushing in that top side.
My goodness. So in terms right now, Hansama finds himself at 82 stacks at about 24 minutes, and he's only going to continue to scale as Labrov fishes for a hook.
Once again, there's the charm as well onto Razork. Labrov falling low. Hostile takeover coming out. Labrov survives for a long time, but in the end, Upset takes him down. And the TP in from Broken Blade slams Fnatic against the wall. There's the charm to follow up.
G2 as they get themselves the ace. Another hook from Labrov. Yes, he's died 5 times, but he has made those deaths worth it.
And Baron on spawn for G2 out of it. A clean fight from G2 leads to them ballooning this gold lead. 4K ahead right now. Caps will have a Zhonya's as he recalls. The tower in the top side falls. No one there to hear it. But it definitely did go down.
Caps all around the world, but sometimes simplifying the draft makes it that much easier to execute. And they've had a lot more individual agency, and they've been making a ton of plays. Razork currently staring down the face of his first loss on this champion so far this split, as G2 with the Baron lays siege to the tier 3 towers.
Charm goes wide there from Caps. Broken Blade just shepherding a minion in the mid lane. Upset's going to try and deal with that. Has 2 items on this Zeri. Caps, though, goes in with the charm, and down goes Upset. Had the opportunity to flash, but didn't use it. Perhaps didn't see over that wall as Caps finds his mark, and Labrov says, anything you can do, I can do too. Flash hook on Humanoid. He'll fall as well. Hansama pushing in here. The Maiden will keep them at bay for the moment, but Oscar's now slowed with a piercing darkness, and G2 are adding another name to the list. Oscar falls. It's all on Razork and Mickey to try and defend. They have the hostile takeover. That Renata ultimate may be enough to buy them a few seconds, but they need 15 before Upset respawns.
So only the Nexus Towers left standing. Razork, I don't think he can defend this.
He was charmed, he was walloped, he was gnarred into the wall. The handshake on Broken Blade will cause him to fall. Mickey finds one, gets that shut down, gets the gold. Mickey still holding on, looking for it. The burst lightning coming out from Upset won't be enough. G2 will even out the series 1-1.
And G2 fight back.
Call out, the Annie hover, the Annie lock in. Okay, so snap, fast, burst engage, primarily played around the flash on the Annie. Your ability to just kind of force that engages. I know that recently some changes were made to her where they tried to take some power out of Tibbers.
Stay here if he wants to. If G2's spot and is still under threat, they can still look to attack this. This does have his red buff up and available, but I don't think he needs to go there if he thinks there's a bot lane available.
That was a flash from Mickey.
He was looking to burn the heal, I think, or as many summoners as possible. He does get the heal out of the Labrov, and now Razork is waiting around the corner. Hansama has cleanse back up, still has that flash, but flash in from Razork into the dazzle stun. Fnatic get first blood, it goes to Upset. Labrov should be able to clear out this wave underneath the tower, as Skewmon still has some path towards his top side.
He just feared, did more damage in exchange, and then gave himself a shield, and then was like, cool, nice burst, Danny. Still though, Caps trying to force the mid lane around, but it looks like G2's looking for a play.
Nice, really nice positioning from Skewmon. Immediately jumps in, they dive forward to Oscar in, and Skewmon was waiting in the wings for his time to strike upheaval out from Razork. He lands it, but Broken Blade healthy enough. Some patches, so after the Tibbers comes down, you don't really have much more damage ticking away.
Meanwhile, the grubs are going to be secured by Fnatic. Skewmon is in the area, seeing if there's something that he could maybe steal, maybe a small mistake from Razork that gives him an opportunity to jump in. But unfortunately, without Labrov present, they just don't have the numbers, and Razork will secure those early grubs. Mickey ticks over to level 6, and now they set the sights on the Hans. Hans doesn't have the ult.
There's the dazzle, cleanse away. Hansama underneath the tower gets the root, but the Cosmic Radiance comes out. Upset flashes forward. The Fate's Call will be enough, but with the rend. Flash away from Labrov, but the follow-up from Mickey. Labrov will fall, 2 kills, and just as I doubted.
The start of this game, they were slowly slipping out of their fingers.
Hansama just overstayed. He's played this matchup before with Mickey, and he knows that without his ultimate 24 CS lead...
oh, Caps! He just TP'd into the top lane. The rest of his team's nowhere near. Upset cleanses away. Caps! He perhaps thought the rest of his team would be close enough to follow this up, but he's going to get chased out by Upset. Mickey gives him vision in the bush, and there's the rend. Tibbers on the chase, LeBron coming in as well, but he doesn't manage to land the knock-up. Skewmon eventually will find it for him. Mickey now chasing in. LeBron hits 6, lands the quickness onto Mickey and Humanoid. Razzle on his way across the spiraling despair. It's agony for G2. They managed to pick up another, but they lose 3 for it.
I mean, they just take too long to kill Upset.
Yeah, I will say that I see the vision if he was full HP like he thought, but the
Punch there, and that's another factor when it comes to the team fights. Sumon's ability to just remove people from the fight is very valuable as Broken Blade, he jumps in.
He jumps in. There's the counter-strike quickness for the follow-up. They're looking for the damage. The charm onto Razzle means the Ishtar's impact won't connect. And now G2 in a 3v2 as Upset's already fallen. Mickey, Flash about to come back off cooldown. He continues to try and trade in with that bravado, but he's not brave enough to survive. G2 find 2.
And it's Upset versus Broken Blade, and Broken Blade comes out on top. The top laner finally stepping up. Usually top laners complain that bot lane is always carrying harder, but here Broken Blade shows why he's undefeated on Jax. He shows why he should be talked about as one of the best top laners in the league, and he's really doing everything in his power to carry this game.
And we into it, you're just going to be knocked back immediately.
I mean, this is also why we say so much of the responsibility falls on Broken Blade's shoulders, because look at how...
I'm still looking at Cap's TP and Broken Blade's TP because now they're both up and available, and I really do feel like what is important for G2 to win these fights is flanks. They can't play front to back.
Quite a lot. But the problem for G2 is, even though Broken Blade has been in this really strong position, he trades up here with the Grandmaster's Might, the counter strike coming out as well. There's the stun, but doesn't really want to follow up. Oscar Winning dashes forward. Skewmon coming around the side. Broken Blade will look for it. Oscar Winning flashes. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Cap's still pushing in. Broken Blade almost down. Counter strike again. Oscar Winning might fall first as Humanoid can't kill Broken Blade in time. Will get the kill in the end. The rest of Fnatic begins to collapse. The Impel flashed away by Skewmon. Camps continues to push through bot. Rift held, now summoned for Fnatic. They want an extra member to replace Oscar Winning.
Fnatic, I mean, I think that was an overstep from Oscar trying to go for the fight. Stun comes through from Mickey. The Herald will crash down, and it's looking to be towers traded. Upset
dashes in. Ishtar's impact from Razork. On Summon, not enough damage to really work his way through the Fnatic front line right now. You can see Razork tanky enough. Back coming out from... Caps now he TP's in. Broken Blade 4 seconds before he's able to join the fight. Skewmon looking for that flank position onto Humanoid as well with no vision in the bush. The counter TP comes out. Caps goes in. There's Tibbers. Humanoid falls low. Ishtar's impact. Cosmic Radiance as well. They need to kill Humanoid before he comes down, but now he's invulnerable. Caps forced down towards the bottom side of the fight. Humanoid forced away. Caps falling low. Upset stunned up. Mickey the next target as Broken Blade dives forward again with a leap strike. LeBron going in. Flash from Broken Blade. He's going to kill him. Upset. No, he's not. Snip from Oscar Winning. He keeps Upset alive. G2 begins to collapse as Oscar Winning now needs to run for his life. He should be able to escape. LeBron still chasing forward, but Oscar Winning can skip and slash his way away. Flash forward from LeBron. Caps has the stun lined up. Hallowed Mist will buy him a second, but he's still stunned up. Skewmon slams him into the wall and sends him to meet his mate.
That finish for Caps is going to give him a lot more burst.
Yeah, and look at the summoner spells.
We don't have time.
They have no
happening again. There's the Impale. Broken Blade looking for the counter strike as well. Doesn't quite land on Humanoid. He's feared away with the Grim Visage. Humanoid able to run away for now. Gleaming Quill will heal the brother. Broken Blade on that front line. Takes the spiraling despair back. Severing bolts enough. Humanoid finds Broken Blade, and now G2 are the ones on the retreat. LeBron down to 200 HP, has to dodge away from the severing bolt. Upset chasing Caps as well. Does have the stun, but with the bait's call, he won't have time to use it. Caps down, Humanoid unstoppable as he claims his second of the fight.
This time,
immediate Grim Visage into him. There's the suppression as well. Spiraling Despair goes out, and now you're stuck with this massive AoE slow ultimate as you're all trying to retreat.
Stuck between an Atakan and a
third item very close to being completed from Humanoid. The third item being worked on by Upset.
Oh, Flash, but the Keeper's Verdict chase him down. This is going to swing the gold a little bit, Betty.
G2.
It's very true. Hans Summers had a game where he's been put very far behind. It's dying in that bot lane.
TP available to G2.
Oh, as you say,
coming around. There's the TP coming out from Caps as Skewmon looks for the chase. Humanoid knocked up, has no flash. The charm onto Humanoid as well. Cosmic Radiance comes down just in time to save the Fnatic mid lane. And Tibbers there as well. Good double stun. The Spiraling Despair is going to do a huge amount of work. And Upset begins to open up on Summer. Caught out by Oscar Winning towards the backside. That Cosmic Radiance perfectly timed. Skewmon will get one in response, but G2 have already lost 4 of their players. Fnatic still chasing Skewmon out. The Ishtar's impact won't catch up. Razork He wants to kill his enemy jungler. Upheaval goes wide, and now Skumon should just be able to charge his way away.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head, Medic. That Cosmic Radiance from Mickey was a game changer. The fact that G2 found what felt like a
Beautiful deep wards in the top side to put in response. So now what's going to happen naturally is that while Fnatic now does the dragon, they're then going to shift their focus towards top side, and that is where G2 will try to punish them. Start this barrier and try to force Fnatic to respond to them.
So Caps is trying to act as a flanker here. LeBron is trying to keep his verdict goes down. Humanoid's going to step in here, but as you say, the Baron secured for G2. Fnatic look for a little bit more. They can't get in. G2 able to walk away. Don't take the quick route, Broken Blade. He will. Counter-strikes forward. Razor comes in. There's the Impale. Broken Blade on a totally different page to the rest of G2. The Dazzle doesn't proc. Broken Blade will die. Side lane push with the Baron now stymied for G2.
I mean, it's definitely a misplay from Broken Blade, but the Baron itself, great awareness from G2. A lot of Fnatic members were resetting, and even if they wanted to, there wasn't really an angle for them to retaliate in response to the Baron being started, and then to add insult to injury, the Poppy ultimate too. Now it's Caps who finds himself in some danger.
Dodges away from the Severing Bolt, but here comes Oscar. Tibbers down. Humanoid almost falls alongside it. Tibbers going to try and chase him out. Caps looking with the stun onto Oscar in as well, but doesn't have the cooldowns. Oh, Tibbers runs away at the inopportune moment. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the Blade Caller coming out. There's Cosmic Radiance as well. LeBron doesn't have the quickness, but does have the flash upset, and Mickey
ready for the oncoming dragon fight. I say that, but we're just getting another fight.
Right, they get the needlework out of Oscar in, and if G2 can get out of this, they dodge the Impale as well. Broken Blade, though, locked into the wall. G2 once again looking for the fight.
Can't walk through this chokehold. There's no way they can do it.
I mean, they can try. Whether or not they'll be successful is an entirely other matter. There's the Ishtar's impact into the double Impale. Cosmic Radiance coming out as well as Broken Blade. Pops the stopwatch, uses the counter-strike as well for the three-man stun. The quickness, the charm, the Tibbers! Apparently they can walk through it. Upstairs touching away. Razork's on his own in the midst of four members as Unstoppable pops the Feather Storm to try and survive. Razork down! You doubt it, Finn! I never doubt G2!
But Skumon find a massive Keeper's Verdict to gain them access. I say they couldn't walk through it, and I genuinely believed it. But the fact that Skumon removed the key player of their comp means they can impact for one. He also has the Seeker's Arm Guard, and it allows him to play so aggressively and look for very creative plays.
Oscar chasing here. There's the Tibbers. Look at the damage coming out from Caps. Oscar looking for the needleworks. The Hammer Miss will dodge to disintegrate, but Caps has more cooldowns. LeBron called out. The red not enough. The Honey Fruit in range. He heals up. Quickness out from the Severing Bolt. He survives, and Mickey's going to chase Skumon down with that face call. They're going to get close enough. Meanwhile, Broken Blade and Caps are pushing in the bot side. Humanoid trying to recall. Skumon doesn't have the Keeper's Verdict, so shouldn't be able to stop Humanoid's reset. It's not even Humanoid, it's Razork. Cosmic Radiance coming out of Mickey. Comes down just in time to make him invulnerable. Skumon looking for a little bit more damage. Unsummer has the Feather Storm in the flash here, and is keeping Razork busy. Unsummer gets one! Unsummer gets two! Skumon gets the third! And now Fnatic rely on Humanoid to defend the base, but G2 are marching down mid, and Humanoid can only stand and watch as G2 grasp victory out of the jaws of defeat. Humanoid chased out by Tibbers. Broken Blade pops the stopwatch. Nothing left for Humanoid to do. G2-1.
What a crazy way for this game to end.
Range, but it is the Galio being picked, so really good call out by you. I think the Galio pick kind of does make sense if the matchup is fine, but you really need to make sure the Galio and the Trundle plays together, because this Galio doesn't have a lot of setup, but he has a lot of
way towards top right now, actually leaving his Wolves to get all the way up here and make sure that Broken Blade can crash the wave. The flash away from Broken Blade as Oscar in looks. This is a bad position for Oscar in. He needs 4 minions, 3 more maybe to get that level 6. Flashes away from the public execution, but Skumon comes across, and there's first blood to G2.
I mean, I'm a bit surprised Fnatic doesn't really invest more into this top lane matchup, because Broken Blade traded like that because he knew his jungler was coming, but meanwhile Oscar traded that, but Razork is going the other side of the map.
Fnatic don't know that Lebrov is behind them. Now they do. Humanoids use the shockwave. Lebrov needs to get his way out of here. Does still have the flash, has the aftershock as well for a little bit extra tankiness. Drake goes over to Razork. Tangle Barbs will connect. Lebrov. Oh! Mickey!
That's
how we play Magic, man.
Broken Blades, I mean, he's just comfortably winning out on these trades now. The pickaxe doing a ton of work, and look at those cooldowns.
But still, doesn't really matter. Oscar really struggling in this match now. Lebrov shows up, probably will be the kill.
Hexagol made him trying to get away, but the Shield of Daybreak won't be enough for the stun. And there's Broken Blade. Enemy dies near him, he gets health back, so we'll never fall low doing grubs.
Was it Zanzara that advocated for the W max?
Yeah, he liked the healing. Zanzara, famous for his Trundle and his Sejuani. No, Skarner, what am I saying?
Yeah. I remember him flashing over Dragon Pit walls to try and steal buffs quicker. It was a lot of fun watching Zanzara. And there are the grubs. The Glacial Prison going out onto Lebrov. He doesn't have a flash and he doesn't have a hope of surviving. Razork got towards level 6, really, that the Fnatic bot lane began to really open up the game. So for Fnatic, shouldn't be too worried yet. Mickey flashing away here. Will land Tango Bombs onto Skewmond. Able to walk away for the moment. Lebrov, though, might be collapsed on as Razzle can upset him on their way across. Solar Flare goes wide. Lebrov in the permafrost, taken out by Humanoid.
So a bit of an overstay there from G2, but the collapse from Fnatic was solid. Ultimately, it's unlikely to result in anything significant because there's not really much on the map for them to play for. No Dragon. It will be spawning in about 20 seconds time, but we're seeing in the top lane matchup, I stand corrected, they're setting their sights on Caps.
Underneath the tower here, Glacial Prison is going to connect. There's the Shockwave as well, and Caps is just clapped by Fnatic. It will be a Drake apiece, 3 grubs to G2. So they've had a slight advantage on these early neutrals, but nothing too consequential. A 700 gold lead now for Humanoid in the mid lane, who already has his Archangel.
Strong in dueling, but also he will be quite squishy now. If that Arctic Prison collides with him, then he might get one-shots.
Razork able to get away across the wall. Solar Flare coming down. Pop Blossom will land a 3-man knocker, but Mickey's already dead. Upset trying to join the phase. He'll jump across towards Broken Blade, who flashes over the wall towards Gromp. Humanoid coming in from the side as well, as Broken Blade needs his team to defend it, but with the Shockwave pulling him back, Lebrov follows suit. Good blast cone away from Skewmon to get himself to safety, but Fnatic went out on the
just this build melts through towers.
Yeah, I was just going to say, with the grubs, this Trundle, if he ever gets a big tempo lead and can just hit the tower for like 15 seconds, he will destroy any structure that stands in his way.
Kraft's trying to survive here with a Shield of Duran, but it's Hun Summer who's locked up in the Hextale Ultimatum. Humanoid will take down the bot lane tower while this is happening, so Fnatic find a tower, find a kill, and are looking for a little bit more. Justice Pun's away from the Glacial in a second's time. Be the second of the game for either of the two teams. Rift Herald will be secured for Fnatic. You can see Skewmon making his way down towards that dragon right now. It's a Chem Soul, similarly to game 2.
Fnatic wants to fight. It has to be either when the Camille is coming from a weird angle or just preferably without her at all.
Oh, Shockwave onto 2. That's the TP immediately from Broken Blade. Lebrov dives in with the Zenith Blade, but has to walk away. Fnatic now have Broken Blade in the midst of them. Good stun from Lebrov. Humanoid will be able to kill him off, though. Meanwhile, on the top side of the fight, Broken Blade has to retreat. Hexagol to made him into the public execution. Broken Blade low. Hero's entrance out as Oscar falls. But so far, 2 for 1 for Fnatic. Razzle continues to chase. Upset, jumping forward.
If there's an Ambessa and Kai'Sa diving onto.
And 2 items as well complete for Upset. Has that Navori Flicker Blades and the did at the start, mostly because it doesn't really get to play in the 1v1 too much. Humanoid caught out with the public execution. Rift Herald down, Glacial Prison lands the stun onto Broken Blade. His hero's entrance as well, as Humanoid's able to flash away. Meanwhile, Solar Flare on towards Mickey. He flashes over the wall as well to escape. Oscar in and continues to push out.
Kai'Sa has went for the on-hit kind of full 80 carry build. She went for the Yuntal into now the Infinity Edge.
Set their sights on an outer tower. There's not much to cross-map for Broken Blade because the tower's already been taken. This will be Fnatic's 3rd of the game. And so we draw ever closer to the respawn of the Dragon. It's G2 that will have prio over this wave. Fnatic can afford to just concede it, especially if they have low priority on this Chem Dragon.
Glacial Prison gonna land here. TP coming out from Broken Blade immediately. Skewmon looking for the trade back in, and Razork melts! That's a subjugation if I've ever seen one. Broken Blade looking for a little bit more. It's Mickey going in for that flank. Pop Blossom only onto 2 and onto 2 tanks at that. The public execution onto Humanoid on the back line. Mickey's already dead. Humanoid uses the stopwatch and uses the flash to escape. Explosive shot on Skewmon. Hexagol made him going back onto Broken Blade as Oscar Vinny tries to trade back in. Broken Blade flashes out. Hun Summer on the front line now has to flash as well. Upset flashes forward. Doesn't quite get the resets. Can't quite get the damage down. G2 walk away with 2.
For a second, I thought we were in Sweden. But Upset, he ran out of mana, so he didn't have the rocket jump to really follow up and secure any kills. This is why Trundle is so good into Sejuani. Like, it was such a perfect... With all 5 members alive.
It looks so juicy, you know you have the reset.
Mickey does have flash about to come off cooldown, but doesn't have it in time. Caught out with the solar flare.
Skewmon level 3, and now the Mickey Axe again, and the Subjugate. I really love this pick by Skewmon, and he also shreds this Baron so fast.
Razork has so much to get in here. The shockwave hits onto LeBron, but somehow still standing. Razork will take him. The Baron resetting importantly here for Fnatic. Skewmon jumped on the Windsor wall. The taunt not enough from Caps as Razork goes back in. Dash away from Broken Blade. Oscar in looking for that hook shot wall dive. No tower here to save Caps, as Fnatic can now turn their attentions towards the Baron.
And I think they should. Skewmon is desperately trying to heal up. He will have a smite available to try and flash in and steal it, but I don't know if they'll even try.
BB has the TP, but nowhere really to go apart from that top lane tri-bush. Skewmon has the flash. They have no vision in the pit right now. Skewmon puts a pillar down. Won't get in range to flash. Fnatic secure the prize.
And it's G2 that starts it, but Fnatic that gets it. Atakan is still up and available. Ambessa TP is still down. It's actually a visual bug. She doesn't have it. But here the pick onto Mickey X was really nice. But I think they maybe overestimated how much damage they actually did. Because the Baron didn't go down as fast as it could, or they wanted, and it didn't really turn properly as well. Here we have 2 options. Either you finish it or you turn. But I feel like G2 did something kind of in between. Labro steps out to try to turn, but the Ambessa ult doesn't connect, and Razork lives for so long, so he's actually able to flash out.
Humanoid connecting that shockwave also, I think, made G2 very indecisive.
Oh, Razork caught out here. In the midst of 5 members of G2, he tries to step forward, public execution onto Humanoid as well, who has no flash. Hansama dives in with the killer instinct and dodges the shockwave. He autos the minions though. There's the hero's entrance coming out. Hansama rooted for the moment as Mickey landed a good pop. Blossom back in, but the Zenith played onto him. LeBron's still alive. Upset opening up with the big guns, looking for those resets. Oscar in. Cat and mouse of baiting in, of playing around vision. Broken Blade gets the slow on Razork with the solar flare. Only gets a clip onto the edge of the Sejuani. Drake down to 9,000. Mickey with the pop. Blossom landed onto 4. Oscar in diving in as well, but there's public execution on the backline with the hero's entrance following up. Hansama dives on, and Razork goes down. So does Upset, and G2 have found the fight they've been looking for all series long. Skewmon though will die to Humanoid, trying to chase a little bit too far. Mickey trying to escape here as well, but he's still got quite a health bar to work with. Caps on the flank. It looks like it will just be the Dragon for G2. Is Mickey gonna look for more? There's double TP.
I mean, what options does he really have? The Dragon's gonna go down. I mean, Mickey's, he's in enemy territory,
yeah.
And I do not think that there is any way that he can escape to. That's gonna be another kill over to G2, who in these team fights...
Towards the members of G2. Mickey looking for that flank, has a control wall behind the pit here, and they need to spot him out. Pop Blossom onto 2 heroes. Entrance coming out as well, and there's no real follow-up from the Pop Blossom. Oscar in and dived in with Hexagon Maiden, but he's dived into his demise as G2 find 1. Fnatic peel off the Baron and try and get away with their lives. And they'll manage to do so. Razork on the wrong side of the wall, but he escapes. Mickey sending a clone in to spot G2 on the Baron, and once again this game, the team that starts the Baron does not secure it.
I mean, that felt so indecisive from Fnatic. When Mickey ulted, to me, that was their avenue to finish the Baron. That's what they wanted to use it for. And then they turned to fight. And the moment the Galio ultimate arrived, they then immediately disengaged from the fight and they leave.
Spot in the winners match on the line. Possibility of a ticket, not only to the finals, but to MSI as the public execution goes on to Humanoid. There's the hero's entrance to follow up, and Broken Blade able to dodge away for the moment, but Mickey, Razork, and Humanoid all able to escape. Upset, untouched, unscathed so far in this fight. Mickey dies to the Void Seeker. Oscar on the chase onto Skewmon as well. Might continue to go in. Upset jumping forward. Caps on the prop, looking for the flank themselves. Justice punch away. Upset still has his ultimate, has flash, has cleanse. There's all the tools at his disposal to really turn around the team fight. TP towards the bot side from Caps.
G2's just dancing around Fnatic right now. Razork, he's looking, he goes in.
He goes in as soon as he sees Caps flying across his head. Broken Blade though kills off Razork, and Hansama cleans up the rest. He'll find 3. G2 with the Baron buff, but looking not at the Drake, but at the Nexus.
And it's G2 that comes out on top in this series. They constantly find these late game teamfights, game after game. They just show that individually they weave around these zones of control and they just use their spells in a better way than Fnatic.
A 10-1-5 performance from Hansama. The carry comes up clutch once more as they set their sights on the Nexus.
It's a tale as old as time. You can change the words, but you can't change the story. G2 defeat Fnatic.
Prov, I think overall had a fantastic series that so many members really stepped up individually. When the cohesion in game 1 seemed off, in the rest of the series, they really did step up.
Yeah, you can vote for 3 of those players in your Kia Player of the Series. Vote at X, Broken Blade, Caps, and Hansama are your options.
I do think Hansama will end up getting it.
Yeah.
Just because of how crucial he was in particular in games 2 and 4, and then in 3, the fact that he was put so far behind, and then at the very end, he had that great play where he was able to kill 2 and still live.
Yeah.
But huge credit to the team. They bounced back, and yeah, I think Fnatic fans find themselves in a situation where it's so frustrating because they want to be excited about the team, but then when they need to step up in these moments when they're playing against their rival, they just can't quite get it over the finish line.
It's just happened for 9 years. How many? 7 years. 7 years.
I mean, what's crazy is Fnatic has beaten G2 in upper brackets before.
Yeah.
I mean, even last year, they met them in the final. It was just getting back there. That's the finals is often where they fall short, but
often a struggle. The question is, will they be able to bounce that back up through that upper bracket? But that's enough about Fnatic for now. Let's hand it over to Ginny, who is standing by with Caps to talk about G2's exceptional start to playoffs.
Gonna give the fans their moments. They've been very loud for you guys today.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome, honestly. Thank you guys so much.
So let's start off the discussion after game 1. How did that go? Because it looked like Fnatic was locked in and you guys maybe not so much. So what was said during that time?
I mean, I think the game 1 was a bit of a disaster for sure. Like, I think they drafted in a way that caught us off a little bit off guard, but also the game was going very well. At least for me, I was feeling very strong, building a bit of lead, but then I just jumped in very deep on bot, and it was a bit too deep, and then it happened a few more times. So I think if I didn't push it a bit too far, then we would have been able to snowball the game well.
Just a little bit of limit testing, right? It happens. Either way, you're able to close out the series, and it was quite a dominant performance in game 3, game 2, game 4. So when it comes to going up against Fnatic, the rivalry that we've seen time and time again, you said it was going to be a little bit personal against Mickey. Did it feel that way?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely liked going mid or like bot whenever I was, and I think especially before the series, we had the interview, made it more fun as well. Of course, he said that they would do a reverse sweep on us.
Yes.
So as soon as we lost the first game, I knew it's over. You know, their strategy has failed.
You know what? You guys did the reverse sweep instead, I guess, in that perspective. It feels like as well when we're looking at the drafts this time around from G2, it didn't feel as creative as you promised us it would be. So what's going on there?
I mean, we didn't go game 5, right? So maybe
so we have to wait for game 5 to see it?
we have to wait for game 5.
Who do you think is going to be able to take you guys to game 5?
Well, I would hope K-Corp. I think K-Corp has been playing very well, and I would love to beat them. And in a game 5 would just make it even more fun.
Do you think you're most likely to be going up against them on the Monday?
I'm definitely hoping that they will come for us. I don't know how Koi will do exactly, but we've lost a lot of games now to K-Corp, both in the final last split, but also in France. So we really want to beat them, and I hope we get to do that on Monday.
I mean, it was a good start here today against Fnatic. It feels like the fundamentals and just the G2 that we were used to seeing, specifically last year's, is back, right? And Monday is also a very important day because, again, winning that matchup means you're punching your ticket straight to MSI. Would that add a little bit more pressure onto that game for you guys?
I don't think so. I think for us, at least for me, I can speak that I definitely want to win the split, right? And I think going to MSI, I mean, obviously I also want to go to MSI, but I think going through and winning the split is the main priority. And I think we get a great chance of, I think we make the final right if we win on Monday. I think so. So it's a great start, and we will look to take it.
How do you think, what do you think is the most important thing to focus on from the side of G2 to be able to go to MSI straight and to win on Monday?
Picking Zach, I guess, is a good start. But aside from the draft, I think we definitely just wanted to be a bit more decisive. I think a lot of our games this year have just been a bit like slow, and we felt very hesitant to go in. I think today maybe we went in a bit too much, too aggressive at times, but we actually just went for every fight we saw, and I think we'll keep that up.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to seeing this new philosophy that you guys have to the game. Thank you, and once again, congratulations on your win. That's it from us over here. We're going to be heading over to PGL with Shox and BB, because G2 still has to fight for that golden ticket for MSI on Monday. Apio, take it away.
They sure do, Ginny. Thank